Hello everyone and welcome to this video by Intellipaat. In this video, we are going to look into different career prospects in UI UX design. With nearly every business going digital, the demand for UI UX designers has seen an escalated growth, providing innumerable opportunities. A career in UI UX design may be perfect for you if you have a flair for research, analytical thinking, visual design, and fundamental knowledge of technical abilities like mobile and website design. Before getting into the technical and functional aspects of UI UX design, let us take a look at the agenda of this video. Firstly, let us take a look at what is UI, and then we move on to what is UX, what skills should you have to become a UI UX designer. Next we have what is the demand for UI UX designers in the current scenario, what are the salaries being offered, what tools you need to know to increase your opportunities as a UI UX designer, and lastly, how can you prepare yourself for UI UX interviews. But before we begin, please make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel so that you never miss any updates from us.
Let us understand what exactly UI is. UI stands for User Interface. A software application's graphical interface is called the user interface. UI designers choose the look of the application or website. It consists of all the elements that users interact with, such as input controls. What are input controls? Input controls are a group of user interface components that let users enter data so that your website or app may respond appropriately and swiftly to their demands. This category includes a number of fundamental user interface elements, including buttons, text fields, pictures, checkboxes, radius buttons, and drop-down menus. Next, we have navigational components. A variety of UI elements known as navigational components can simplify navigating through a website or mobile application. There are numerous navigational elements, including navigation bars, menus, and drop-down menus, sidebars, tab bars, and tree menus. Next, we have informative elements. What are informative elements? Tooltips, progress bars, notifications, model windows, and modifications, and many other components fall under the category of informational components. Lastly, what are containers? Containers are UI elements that can house a complete set of related components and material so that you may use them all at once. Containers include carts, scroll boxes, forms. What is UX? UX is short for user experience. The ease or difficulty of interacting with the user interface elements that the UI designers have built determines the user experience. UX designers are in charge of defining how the user interface will function, whereas UI designers are responsible for choosing how the user interface will look. Having a positive user experience is essential since an app or website will essentially reflect the business and foster connections between the consumer and the brand. Therefore, there is a huge need for UX expertise in this industry. The elements involved are strategy. Strategy is the model's bottom plane. This is where the decisions on what goals the product should be created to achieve are made because it is the most amorphous and unrestricted aspect of the project. Next up we have scope. The approach may be chosen after which the product scope can be established and described in length. All of a product's features, including the data that the users can access and the functionality that the users can utilize, are determined here. On this level, the UX team will develop a set of functional specs that identify all the features of the product and characterize each one, as well as a set of content requirements. Next, we have structure. The structure of a product should be worked on once the product scope has been defined. Each navigational component, such as the location of each page inside the product and the options available to the consumers once they get a certain page, will be chosen here. Determining the product's interface design and information architecture is necessary for this. Next, we have skeleton. After deciding how the product will be structured, its skeleton can be designed. This entails deciding where the navigation and functional elements from the previous plane will go on each product page. It's here that the UX designers will make decisions about the product's information design, creating wireframes and prototypes that arrange each part of the product. Lastly, we have surface. The final pages of the product will be built using the wireframes and prototypes developed on the skeletal plane, which is the highest and most substantial plane. We are now focused on the sensory experience of the consumers. This covers how the site's visual design's use of colors and textures aids users in understanding how to navigate and interact with it. There are four core phases in UX design. They are user research, design, testing, and implementation. Now that we have an idea of what UX design is, let us explore the skills required to increase your chances of landing a job in the UI UX domain. A good grip on technical and soft skills combined together is essential for a UI UX designer. Here are the set of skills you need to possess to be able to build your career in UI UX. Let us take a look at the technical skills. Firstly, research. Easy to use applications and websites are the result of extensive planning, investigation, and testing. A few of the key research components include determining the target audience, leveraging the information gained to perform informed design choices, and developing prototypes and wireframes for user testing. Next, we have visual and interaction design. To improve usability, designers use both interactive and visual features. This will enhance user usefulness and navigability. Next, we have wireframing and prototyping. Wireframes are essentially blueprints that highlight the layout of the product's components while illustrating the design's overall structure. Wireframing focuses on the website's visual elements, whereas prototyping is more concerned with its functionality, typography, and interactive elements. Next, we have programming knowledge. The marketability of a designer will be increased by having a basic understanding of programming. For beginning designers, knowing programming languages like HTML, CSS, and JavaScript might be helpful. Soft skills are just as important as technical skills, and these are a few of them you should keep in mind while working your way through a UI UX career. Firstly, communication. To interact with stakeholders, conduct efficient user research, and build vision for a finished product, designers must have strong communication skills. Then we have problem solving. Designers need to be able to articulate a design issue clearly and come up with potential solutions based on user research. Additionally, designers must be able to spot and comprehend areas of friction in a design to identify user behavior. Then we have attention to detail. User interface design requires a keen eye for detail. Small adjustments to an interface's layout, balance, proximity, spacing, typeface, and color can all influence how it looks and functions. Then we have ability to receive and implement feedback. Experimentation, testing, and refining are continuous processes in the user experience design. In later revisions of a design, designers must be able to take feedback from users, collaborators, and stakeholders and incorporate it. After getting familiarized with the skills required, let us take a look at the demand of a UI UX designer in the current scenario. As a job that requires a lot of creativity and expertise and experience in interaction design, graphics, usability, web design, a UX designer will always be in demand. There is a high need of UI UX designers since the major businesses and websites are constantly seeking for fresh, creative methods to enhance their user interfaces. Most people seem to believe that any website or application's success depends on its user interface. There are many career opportunities in the rising sector of UI UX design. Let us take a look at a few of them. So, LinkedIn has ranked UI UX as one of the top 5 skills in demand as of 2020. The current rise in demand for UI UX designers is 16%, which is highest in any industry. The majority of organizations anticipate seeing at least 21% increase in their design teams in 2020, according to Envision's product design hiring report. UI UX job vacancies now range from 8,000 to 24,000 globally. Even in the midst of a worldwide epidemic, there were 2,347 UX designer jobs listed on LinkedIn alone as of August 2020. As analyzed by Nielsen Norman Group, which is an American computer user interface and user experience consulting firm, the number of UX experts increased from 1,000 to around 1 million between 1983 and 2017. Meanwhile, it is anticipated that the profession would increase to around 100 million individuals by 2050. We are at the start of this exponential curve, so now is a wonderful opportunity to pick up the skills you will need to break into the UX design field. Coming to the salaries being offered in the UI UX domain, In general, UI UX designer salary in India ranges between 2 lakhs to 14.5 lakhs with an average annual salary of 5.1 lakhs. The beginning pay in studios and service-based businesses ranges from 5 to 8 lakhs. Pay in this range is being offered by companies like Cognizant, Deloitte, Accenture, Wipro, Infosys, TCS, Lollipop, NetBrahma, and YUJ. You may expect to earn between 10 and 14 lakhs after 5 years of experience. Senior positions pay between 20 and 25 lakhs per year. Starting salaries for large startups and MNCs with a product-based business model might range from 10 to 14 lakhs. For UX product design positions, large companies like Flipkart, Microsoft, Ola, and Amazon pay substantially more, around 16 to 18 lakhs, but they seldom hire new employees. After 5 years of expertise, earning above 25 lakhs is typical. For product design positions with 10 to 15 years of expertise, lead, manager, and director roles may pay as much as 50 to 60 lakhs. While we are certainly aware of the trends and requirements in the UI UX industry, let us take a deeper look at what tools are generally used for UI UX design and what you should be familiar with before planning your career as a UI UX designer. One of the most commonly used design tools today is Figma. The cloud-based design tool Figma is superior for collaboration. Figma streamlines the design process and is more efficient than other tools at facilitating productive teamwork. Any operating system that supports a web browser is compatible with Figma. Figma may be used on Mac, Windows, Linux computers, PCs, and Chromebooks. It allows users to exchange, access, and edit Figma files in locations with hardware running various operating systems. Then we have Adobe XD. Adobe XD is used by designers and design teams all around the world to collaborate on projects from ideation and wireframing through developer handoff. Team members may examine drawings and specs simply by viewing links to them and leaving comments straight in the browser. Then we have Sketch. You've probably heard of Sketch if you have any UI design experience. There are a myriad of reasons for why it's regarded as one of the best design tools. It saves designers time to produce consistent prototypes to be able to make universal modifications, whether it be through their library of symbols, layer styles, text styles, or its seamless scaling and aligning features. By removing the laborious elements, designers are free to start creating. There are many tools available that can be utilized with Sketch, and there are several third-party plugins that connect without a hitch. InVision Studio is a great platform as well for designers. Designers get access to all the UI design tools they require using InVision to produce fully realized workable prototypes that include animated and dynamic features. With collaboration tools that enable developers to share their work as they create it, receive comments, and make recorded modifications at each stage. They also facilitate communication in addition to these simple to use UI design tools. Then we have Proto.io. Utilizing its UI design tools, Proto.io claims to produce prototypes that feel genuine. Proto.io fulfills this promise by providing you with the tools you'll need to organize, integrate, and test precise prototypes. It facilitates communication between team members through comments and video feedback. And it integrates with some of the most well-known testing tools like Lookback, Usability, and Validity. It also streamlines the cooperation process. The next important tool you will need in UI UX journey is Akshar. Akshar assists with prototyping and workflow management. It has an easy to use interface for recording your progress. This software is driven by high fidelity, producing detailed prototypes. Many of the additional capabilities of well-known prototype and UI design tools are also available in Akshar. Functionality testing is made possible and everything is assembled for a simple developer handoff. Akshar is a good option for UI design because of this, along with a focus on communication which guarantees that everyone working on a project is kept informed of progress and changes as they occur in real time. Lastly, we have Balsamic. A UI wireframing application called Balsamic simulates the feeling of drawing on a whiteboard or a notepad while using the computer. You may use it to plan and discuss how the program or website you're creating will be organized. Balsamic prevents you from becoming sidetracked by colors and other elements too early and pushes you to concentrate on structure and substance. There are several built in and community created UI controls and icons available. You may quickly develop masters, reusable component libraries, and templates that you can use as the basis of your new designs. Now that we've made ourselves accustomed to every aspect of UI UX design, it is time to gain some quick interview tips to increase your chances of cracking the interview. Firstly, bring your portfolio and don't forget to mention your UX technique. Bring your design portfolio with all required components with you if you want to land a UX job. It is preferable to conduct some study before organizing your work in a portfolio in order to come up with an outstanding portfolio. Review the project descriptions in the portfolios of experienced UX designers. The two most popular websites, Behance and Dribbble, each have hundreds of excellent portfolios from experts all around the world. Know your company and understand the role. Although it may seem apparent, make sure you're familiar with all the fundamental information regarding the organization you're interviewing with. You may determine whether your values and the company's culture and work ethics correspond with each other using the information provided. Visit the organization's website, LinkedIn, and Glassdoor profiles to find out about the one you're applying to. Checking to discover whether the business has been lately mentioned in the press may also be helpful and educational. Brush up your soft skills. Make sure your soft skills are up to standard whether you're looking for a senior or junior UX design role. Strong interpersonal and communication skills are essential for managers so they can effectively manage their teams. As an alternative, a junior designer must be a great team player and listener. Therefore, revise your CV right away if it already doesn't have any of these features. Include examples of both good and bad user experiences. The goal of user experience design is to build products that provide end users with meaningful and worthwhile experiences. You should be able to provide some concrete examples to support your ideas while discussing UX design. Following UX design magazines, blogs, and other media is beneficial. You can provide both successful and unsuccessful UX designs from your previous employer. Be aware of the current trends. Design involves continuous changes with newer trends being introduced frequently. To be relevant to the current swing, you need to constantly look out for newer technologies and its alternatives to keep you updated. Even if you're an accomplished UX designer, go through your fundamentals. You may have worked extensively in the subject of UX for a variety of clients. In your interview, you will have a lot of projects to display and discuss. However, it is important to review your fundamental ideas about UX design since often we get caught up in the details of the task at hand and forget to use the appropriate terminology. Although the recruiters might not ask you to define certain phrases, using comparable terminology when outlining your design approach can leave a favorable impression. Take your time while handling a design issue. When given a design problem to resolve, thoroughly read it or listen to it. Translate any questions from the interview into your own words and ideas in your head. To make the issue clearer, ask questions. Try to connect the issue to any of the design projects that you've already completed. This is a helpful idea. This will assist you in going through the same ideation, user flow, sketch, and layout processes. Lastly, be genuine, self-assured, and optimistic. Always be genuine in your responses, in your knowledge and abilities when participating in interviews. A person can make a serious misstep in an interview by failing to show himself as a professional worker. Even with strong UX abilities, undesirable conduct might hurt you in an interview. Be sincere while describing your job. It doesn't hurt to say when you don't know the answer to a question. Don't forget, though, to demonstrate your openness to picking up new ideas and fashions. Despite the wide range of concepts you will need to cover in UI UX for an interview you want to take up, it is beyond doubt that the guidance provided in this video will help you to finish this process with a greater success rate. We recommend that you go through all the steps and procedures mentioned in this video to be able to get through the rigorous interview process to reach closer to establishing a bright career in the field of UI UX design. Thank you so much for watching this video. That's it for this video. Thank you for watching.
Just a quick info guys, if you want to make a career in UI UX design, then Intellipaat provides an advanced certification in UI UX design strategy. It is taught by IIT Guwahati professors and industry experts with more than 10 years of experience. This course is designed to upskill and land your dream job.